this is another Oopsy Daisy podcast. My name is Ashley.
And I am Vanessa.
Let's start this off by me saying that sorry we didn't do a podcast for last week. I wasn't feeling that good.
She is weak.
Yeah, I was weak. So, today we are talking about the Life with Eric episode, Puppy Dog Tales.
Can I just say before that we made the hockey podcast, we said that there are no high-scoring games like people write, and then literally the next day, the Tampa Bay Lightning win like 8-2.
Mm-hmm.
So, thanks. Thanks, NHL.
They're making us out to be liars.
Yeah. They're calling us out and saying, yeah, we totally do score more. You guys are bitches. Listen.
So the summary for Puppy Dog Tales is Casey is sickened by the men of her new home. Between the smell and the disgusting habits the boys have grown to have, Casey feels like she and her family don't belong in their new house. Casey convinces her mom, Nora, to redecorate the house so it feels more at home for her and the rest of the girls. Naturally, the boys are extremely upset, and the two families cause a fight between George and Nora.
This episode was really boring. Can I just point that out?
It was. I mean, like, I guess, like, it was, like, you could say it was almost like a filler episode, but, yeah, just watching it was kind of like, I would watch a minute, pause it, go do something else, come back, watch a couple more minutes of it. Like, I would go literally, like, scene by scene. Like, I couldn't just watch the whole thing straight through.
There's literally only two interesting things, and that's it. Like, I feel like this is going to be the worst episode ever, just because
Well, I mean, I have things to talk about, but it's just, like, in general, like, nothing felt really important. Like, I feel like I was, like, really grasping for things to really talk about.
That's true. What we can talk about is how someone found your blog and was really happy.
Oh. I guess, yeah.
They were super stoked. And wait until they find the podcast, then they'll be even more stoked. Shout out to that person.
You could hope. So, this episode starts in the kitchen. Casey, I guess she points out that Edwin smells. He's been wearing his shirt for 3 weeks.
Gross.
Have you ever done that? Like, worn something for, like, so long?
No. Have you?
I don't think so.
Because you know we're wrong on this. We talked about how sharing bras
I might have
was
worn,
weird.
Like, a shirt, like, 2 days in a row, or, like, you know...
That's literally what pajamas are.
I mean, like, consecutively, like, long hours, like, wearing it to bed is one thing, but it's just, like, actually going out in public wearing the same thing every day.
Yeah, no. I feel like we're gonna get, like, told, though, because we did say, like, swapping bras with mom was weird, and other people are like, I do that all the time! So, we're gonna get roasted.
Think, no matter what, like, 3 weeks is excessive.
It is. We're gonna get roasted.
Without cleaning it.
It's true.
Like, if you're cleaning it regularly, but still wearing it every day, okay, it's still weird, but at least you don't smell. But, like, because, like, and then she's saying, like, she's smelling something else and ends up being Derek's hockey gear. And she tries to make a joke and just completely falls flat. I can't even remember the joke anymore, but she was like a toxic, like, something, I don't know. Like, she tried to obviously make a joke with George and Edwin and everything, but, like, it just completely fell flat.
That's, like, classic Casey, though. She's, like, such a dweeb that nothing works.
Yeah. And then George has his bare feet, on the counter.
It's gross.
Yeah.
This whole episode, we have talked about in the past how Casey's, like, obviously has OCD. This whole episode is, like, another shout out to it.
Yeah, it's like, it's testing her patience, really.
Can you, like, imagine the like aneurysm she probably had.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Honestly. I thought the one like funny thing that came out of this whole like scene was that, as George is like, because his feet are cold, so he's trying to warm them up. He's telling a story about these Everest climbers who lost their toes to frostbite, and he was saying how one of the guys kept his one toe as a memento.
That's so cringe, just that joke. But there's actually like a place in Canada, I think. It's like up north, and it's literally a drink. There's like some dead man's weird ass toe that you have a drink, and it's ridiculous. So that's what reminds me of it, because it looks like it's shriveled up from frostbite as well. It's gross.
So then she goes to talk to Paul, like always, and that she's just kind of just obviously complaining about all the boys, how they leave their clothes out, they don't replace the toilet paper, they don't put the food away. And she says, George, I thought this was actually pretty funny. Like, she says, George isn't a full caveman, but he knows where the cave is.
Yeah. Ugh.
And then while this is happening, you kind of see Paul as well. He like kind of has stuff around his like office and everything, and he throws things into his trash can, but he keeps missing. Kind of show that like all men are the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then she says to him, "Wow, you gotta work on your aim."
No, there's aim always. It always pops up some way. Like,
it just sounds so wrong.
It's always like this. It always pops up, and it's always Casey saying it. Like, girl, what are you saying?
I
see your bathroom aim. You should work on your aim, like, girl.
And again, it was like I don't know. Maybe it's just because like I was already like so bored of this episode, but like the whole thing was just like it felt like it was extra effort for her just to say that.
This whole episode was an extra effort.
I think this is one of the episodes I watched the least. Mm-hmm. It's just because like there's nothing that really goes on in this episode that's really like interesting. So Casey talks to Lizzie and Nora now, and so again we're going with like Nora and George being completely oblivious. Nora hasn't noticed that Edwin's been wearing the same shirt for 3 weeks.
Ew.
Like again, I could understand maybe not noticing like a couple days, but weeks.
It's gross.
And then she only gets worried when they bring up that what if they catch something fungal?
Fungal.
And they're like athlete's foot, and and then Lizzie's like Edwin has athlete's body.
Yeah, pretty much.
And poor Lizzie, she has to go to school with Edwin, this smelly kid, and she's Stinky stepsister.
Yeah, like she just ignores him, and he's like, we mixed up our lunch. Hey, Lizzie, and she's like, leave. Maybe he won't notice us. Walk fast. He won't notice them over his own smell.
Lizzie's talking about this, and Casey's like, well, I have it worse. And it flashbacks to like a point where like Derek comes into to the laundry room where Casey's doing her laundry, and then he comes in, and then he takes a towel, and then he dries himself of sweat, and then he throws it on Casey.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think that's worse than having to be around someone who's like consistently smelly.
Well, it's Casey, so she blows everything out of proportion, right?
I know, but I'm just like Casey, I understand that Derek pesters you, but I don't think it's really worse.
I just find it hilarious, though, like, how he's like, girls love sweat.
I mean,
giving her
from afar, maybe.
It's the look he's giving her that when he says it, I'm like, OMG.
Yeah, that's not brotherly look.
He's like, girls love sweat. The
like,
look,
right, Casey? Right, right. Am I seducing you now, Casey? Right.
Exactly. She's like, ew.
And then Emily comes in all starstruck.
Because he's all sweaty. Because girls
Yeah,
love
obviously. And he's like, see, Casey? See?
See?
Do you
Love
think
me.
now? Do you think I'm hot now? What?
Yeah. What were you talking about? Okay, bye. Love me.
And then they say that the house is smugly, which is it's a hybrid between smelly and ugly. The house is smugly.
Good. I feel like something Derek or Marty would say because they come with like
Smarty and
Smarrick.
Smarrick, yeah.
Yeah. Something they would come up with.
That'd be cute, but no, it wasn't.
Well then.
But and then it goes to the next scene where George is making dinner.
Ugh.
Okay. It's funny because they bring it on and he's like dancing while he's like stirring the pot, and he's just being a complete dork.
Yeah.
But Nora walks in and she sees he's making chili dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think this is finally where it clicks that she sees like he's being disgusting.
Fucking gross.
Okay, he's stirring the pot and then he lifts it, the spoon, and he tastes it. And then he starts
like
licking it so there's nothing left on the spoon. And then he starts stirring the food again.
Okay, but you have never done that.
No! No, I haven't.
I am totally guilty of doing this.
Like, especially, like, you know, let me think that it's one thing when you have, like, when you share things between, like, blood-related family.
Yeah.
And there's another thing entirely when you're making something for other people that aren't, like, related to you.
Okay.
And you're wiping all your dirty-ass germs all over it.
See, I've never done it for other people. It's only, like, if I'm making something for me.
Well, yeah, that's whatever. If you know it's only for you, yeah, you can lick it all you want. But if you're sharing that whole like thing with the whole family, yeah, let's not do that.
You make
Get
a
it
lot.
on a freaking spoon.
You make a lot. You're like, this is all for me, and you lick it and you put it away because you're like, okay, I'll have some later. Then the family shows up and starts eating your food. Just saying.
And then he drops the recipe book into the pot.
Yeah. That's stupid.
Which, I mean, it is what it is. It's fine. The thing I'm more concerned about is him licking the spoon till it's like nothing left on it, and then he puts it back into it.
Okay, do you remember when you were younger? I don't know if you did this. Not talking about like putting it back, but like, you know when your mom would use like the what is it called? It's like not a blender. It's like that thing with the two like weird things that go in and it like mixes the bowl, the mixer thing.
Oh.
Yeah, you know that, right?
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then it says she's like making batter or something, or it's like mashed potatoes. Then she'd like pop them out and hand them to the kids, and the kids would lick them.
Yeah, but like we never used it afterwards, or we would clean it before we used it again.
I'm just saying, did you ever do this?
Yes, I did do that.
Good. That's all I wanted to ask. Has nothing to do with it, but you know, I want to know if you were normal.
What, am I not normal?
No, not at all.
What?
You're a Florida woman.
I'm not born or raised.
I know, but I see what's in the news. Florida man jumps off or whatever, chases cow down street. I don't know what goes on in Florida anymore. It's not normal. Let me find some stuff.
So anyway, at dinner, Derek, in this episode, Derek is sitting in the middle. In between his siblings, in between Marty and Edwin. Like, he's sitting in the seat that usually Edwin sits in, and Edwin's sitting where Derek usually sits. And I do not like it.
Yeah.
It just does not look right. I don't know if they do this ever again, but it was just such a weird thing. Like, I didn't like it.
It's bizarre. Let's just go with that. You know what else is bizarre? Florida man.
Ugh.
Florida man attempts to smoke crack in ICU. Almost burns down hospital.
Where was that?
In Florida.
Obviously, but does it say like an actual like city?
North Okaloosa Medical Facility.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Florida man flashes buttocks at IHOP after impersonating a police officer to get free food. Florida man bites off neighbor's ear because he wouldn't give him a cigarette.
That's
Florida
a little
man,
aggressive.
Florida man claims wife was kidnapped by holograms. Oh man. This is why I'm saying you're not real. This is why I had to know if you were normal with the mixer thing.
Again, I've only lived here a couple of years.
Florida man holds up Domino's pizza delivery man over pizza and wings.
Okay, back to the episode. Casey is fixing up the living room. She's trying to put up some art piece or something on the fireplace mantle to replace Derek's trophy. Obviously, Derek doesn't like this. They fight, trying to see what stays, and both items fall. Derek is, I scored 30 goals to get this.
It's a big thing.
And Casey's like, I went to 30 garage sales to get this.
Okay. That chicken duck thing was horrific.
Now, I mean, Casey, again, it doesn't compare.
Okay, both things, I understand both sides of it, okay? Usually
I think Derek's thing is more important just because that's something he's worked very hard towards. Casey merely just wasted a Saturday.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Usually, most of the time, trophies go in trophy cases. You usually have that in the kid's room. That's usually how it goes. You don't put it up on the fireplace and, like, lord over it like he's the better kid out of everyone.
Yeah, but then we're talking about Derek, who he's the greatest thing ever, and obviously every accomplishment needs to be, like, on the grand stage.
It's true. But I understand why she's like, yeah, it shouldn't be there. I'm like, I agree. It should be in a trophy case or in his room. But I don't want to see that duck thing there.
Well, no, it definitely shouldn't be there. But I'm just saying, like, as things both fell, his trophy was more important, I feel like, because it actually stood for something, his hard work, whereas hers just stood for a wasted Saturday.
There's just
and wasted money.
For horrible taste in art.
Yes.
Something like Grandma McDonald would have. Not even. I don't think that the grandma's the one who runs the lake thing, right?
Huh?
The grandma's the one who runs the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. A different Grandma McDonald. Grandma Nora.
Maybe her dad. Her dad. Yeah. Mom.
Yes.
Not her mom's mom.
Is the mom McDonald? Or is that, like, Dennis's name as well?
I think that's Dennis's name because Casey and Lizzie have McDonald.
Okay, then, so... Is it Nora's mom, then?
But that's what's so weird. That's what some people have brought up. It's like, why is it the McDonald... I guess because, like, Casey and Lizzie are still.
Yeah.
Because she's Mrs. Venturi, right?
She would be, yes, by marriage.
Right, but I'm thinking, like, sometimes people, like, they put, like, McDonald Venturi, like, she hyphenated, but I think she's just Mrs. Venturi.
Well, I don't think it's specified, because I know my sister, when she got married...
But I feel like everyone says Nora McDonald.
Yeah, because some people
why would you keep your...
Some people still do, because it's if they're known by that professionally...
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean...
want it. It's like a professional thing. They keep it for their, like,
Do you
work
really
and
think
stuff?
her work is really good?
Okay, listen. If you need window
Nora's
treatments...
window treatments.
You want to go see Nora McDonald, window treatment lady extraordinaire, not Nora Venturi.
Does she, like, play off the old McDonald tale or something?
No! I'm just saying, like, if she has, like, she's made a name for herself, she works so hard with the name McDonald, just changing that, people are not gonna be like, okay, well, who's this Nora Venturi? I never heard of her in this business. And then everyone's like, oh, Nora McDonald, yeah, I know this person. I know her work.
I think that's a stretch, but...
You know what? I'm going with that. sticking by what I say? Just because you don't understand, don't mean it ain't right.
I understand. I just don't think that's the reasoning.
Shush,
It's complicated, and I just don't think they wanted to overcomplicate it. So they just made all the girls McDonald and all the guys Venturi.
But is the grandma's last name McDonald, is what I'm asking.
I don't know. I don't know if we ever really got her last name.
Because if she's Grandma McDonald, doesn't that mean that's Dennis's mom?
No, it's definitely Norris's mom. Norris's.
Norris? Grandma Norris. Because I don't think it's something Grandma Norris would have, is that duck.
I forget what her first name is. But I don't know if they specified what her last name was.
Oh man, I gotta Google now. This is gonna like bug me for the rest of the day.
Anyway, so Edwin goes in and he sees the new and improved bathroom. And he yells for Lizzie that there's something weird that happened in the bathroom. And Lizzie goes, "That's too much information, Edwin."
It is. But she's... It's bad. But it's a really ugly bathroom, what they did to it.
Okay, everything is pink. Now, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to know that Edwin and Derek would not like that.
Yeah.
Like, why can't you just pick a neutral color if you wanted to change things?
I know, but they had to go to the extreme.
Exactly.
They did.
So it's just like they're already going off on the wrong foot of everything. And then they put an extra strength air freshener in the bathroom.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, just I don't even know how you would think dramatically changing the bathroom and like everything else was going to go over well.
Felicia's her name.
So anyway, Edwin says he's not going to use the bathroom while it's looking this way.
Again, this isn't another extreme. Like, they went extreme with pink, but going extreme, I'm never using this bathroom.
Like, he's never going to use the bathroom.
Ugh.
So he doesn't use the bathroom. And then it cuts to the next scene in the kitchen, and George has his hand stuck all the way in the cereal box, trying to get the prize.
I did that.
Right, but, how old are you?
I'm just saying I was, like, 2.
Right. Well, George is, like, 42.
Age is just a number!
So, he's getting, again, his dirty-ass hands all over the cereal.
He could have washed his hands beforehand.
Do you really think he did?
I mean, I'd like to think he did.
And then we see Edwin come from outside. Edwin, why were you outside? His dad asked. And Edwin says, "Don't ask."
He was probably taking a poo in the bag. He went to
the freaking bathroom outside.
Yeah.
And he didn't wash his damn hands. Okay? And then he puts his hands in a cereal box and he gets the prize.
Do you know what would have taken the cake? If someone after that poured themselves some cereal and
I would have loved
ate it.
if it was Derek or something.
Oh man, it would have been so great.
I mean, it would have been even more hilarious if it was Casey.
Oh my god, that's the one. That's the cake. Like, oh, did you wash your hands after pooping outside, Edwin? No. She just like spits it all out, and she would die. Like the aneurysm would have like struck.
God's sakes. Ugh. Did you get your answers that you're looking for?
Yes, her name is Felicia.
Oh yeah, Felicia. That's right. But their last name?
It didn't say. It just says Grandma Felicia.
Okay.
Bye, Felicia.
But she's definitely Nora's mom. But we just don't know. Maybe Nora's last name was McDonald before she got married.
Maybe.
And she married another McDonald.
That's something, all right.
She was McDonald squared.
Yeah.
It was easy.
Squared.
She didn't have to change her name or anything.
It's true. Good old MC squared. I love it.
So then they're in the laundry room with Casey and Nora. They're doing the laundry. And this is where Casey convinces Nora not to talk to George about redecorating. Nora, why the hell are you listening to Casey? Like, honestly, Casey can be just as manipulative as Derek.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like, it's just, because, like, I don't know if she's doing it, like, maliciously, but she wants to get her way. So she just says things like, well, do you really think George is going to care? Yeah, if you change everything. I mean, it's not like we're asking, it's not like she's getting a new rug, and only a rug. It's not like you're just putting up one little, like, piece of art, okay? They freaking, like, get a whole new living room set, okay? Like, it's just, ugh. But anyway, before they do that, they're cleaning up the living room so that they can get the new living room set. And while they're, like, cleaning the couch, was that a freaking dead mouse that they took out of it?
Yes, it was.
Oh.
But what I've realized from this episode is the way Casey's, like, manipulating everyone. That's some fucking serial killer shit. Some fucking serial killer, like, shit that's going on. First, it's cleaning the house. Then they're killing each other. Just saying.
And then, while they're cleaning, I don't understand why Nora's wearing, like, kitty mouse ears.
I didn't notice that.
I did. Like, I don't know if she picked it up while she was cleaning and just decided to wear them, but I just noticed, at least by the end, she's taking them off. And I was like, why were they on your head to begin with? I mean, nothing, like, really, like, matters if it's there or not, but it's just, like, it was something weird that I just noticed, and I was like, why? And then, again, they changed they changed everything about the living room. They got a new couch, they got some new chairs, they got a new coffee table. They took the TV downstairs. I would have hated to be in their apartment in Toronto if that was...
Here's the thing, though. They said it was an apartment, like, a few episodes ago, and then on this episode, they're like, our condo! So what is the truth?
I kind of use them, like, interchangeably.
It is not.
It is to me. I don't really care.
Have you been in a condo?
I think so.
Condos are not apartments. They're like, I guess they could be. They're just like...
What's the truth, Vanessa?
I mean, if you look at it, it could be, except, like, apartments are really, like, cheap condos, because condos are fucking expensive.
No, not necessarily. I mean, condos you own, right?
Yeah, but they're super expensive. They're, like,
right, because you own them. I mean, like, you know, I mean, like, my aunt and uncle had a condo, and it was just like a regular apartment.
Okay, my aunt had a condo, and I was like, I feel like I don't belong here. It was so high. It was, like, so richy rich in the middle of downtown Vancouver. So I'm just saying.
Well, so
maybe it's because it was from, I'm guessing yours was in Philly.
No, it was in Jersey.
Vis-a-vis, concordedly, condos are for rich people.
No, there isn't. They were not rich, but it was a condo, for sure.
It's a lie. Anyway, the truth is that they keep changing from condo to apartment, and it's a different thing.
Again, it might not be. So anyway,
vote for us in your comments, in your asks. Please say, are a condo and apartment the same thing? I know I'm gonna lose because you guys seem to like Ashley better than me.
There's like no evidence to that.
I think there is, because they always talk about you and never mention me. So I'm just
when
saying.
Have they ever talked about me?
I don't know. They say they love your laugh. They don't say about anything about
one
my
person.
Laugh. They don't say anything about my laugh.
Then again, I laugh a lot. You have to know that I laugh a lot during these podcasts.
Maybe your laugh just overpowers my laugh, and that's why they just don't know.
Okay.
Vote for me.
So anyway, they come back. The Venturi men come back, and they see everything in their like living room has been dramatically changed. So naturally, they are very upset. So they try to, you know, they're all like in the living room together. George, Edwin, and Derek. And this is where Derek starts being manipulative back. But he starts to say that the girls are brainwashing them, trying to, I don't know. And then he justifies this all by saying that they're brainwashing them. George, do you really want Edwin to be a girl? And then Edwin's like, I don't want to be a girl. And it's just like, it's stuff like this that really dates the show.
Yeah.
Because they would never be able to get away with it nowadays.
Oh god, yeah, no. Oh!
You sound so far away.
I fell. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, you could not get away with that today. Like, at all.
That's gender roles.
Gender roles, you cannot give them to people. It's given to the people by themselves.
So,
that didn't
anyway.
make sense. It sounded better in my head.
So anyway, at dinner that next night, the boys are starting to rebel. They say that they want to watch the hockey game in the living room. They want to bring the TV upstairs so that they can watch it in the living room. And they promise to just keep everything organized and neat and then take the TV back downstairs after the game, which they agree to. And even Edwin's on board with this. And we forgot to talk about this last episode, but, you know, we were saying for a Canadian family, they are not that hockey crazy.
Yeah, no, Edwin doesn't know anything about hockey. All he knows is that he has his lucky shirt, and he has to wear it no matter what when Derek's playing, and that's about it.
So anyway, it cuts to the boys watching the game. There's food all over the coffee table, and the girls come in from, I don't know what the heck they were doing, but they start freaking out, Nora and Casey. Okay, Nora, chill. It's the middle of the game. if afterward...
We know where your priorities lie in this.
But no, like, even when, like, you know, you're watching a movie, like, you just, anything, like, watching on a TV and it's an event for you, things are going to be a little bit messy. So if afterwards, if things are still a mess, if things aren't still put away, then you freak out. Okay?
But her couch was $3,000. That's why she was freaking out.
Well, the couch, but, like, she was freaking out more so, like, over everything being over the coffee table. You don't get such an expensive couch that you know is going to get dirty with who lives there.
Yeah, that was Casey's serial killer manipulation. She probably, like, picked out everything.
Still, it's just, like... You have to think, like, you have Marty, who's still a kid. She's not going to be, like, that well-behaved regardless of who her parents are. I mean, like, kids still, like, make messes. Like, you can't expect her to not make a mess and get it on the couch. Like, it's just not realistic. And then you just have the guys there anyway. It's just not realistic. But anyway, so Nora turns off the TV. And this is where Casey and Derek are kind of like yelling their parents' arguments for them. Because it's kind of like George versus Nora, but really it's Casey versus Derek. And it's just, I don't know, because like why, like, because George was saying, like, you know, why didn't you tell me that you were doing this? And Casey says, like, what does she have to tell you? This is in the Stone Age. And then Nora's like, Casey, it's okay. And then she repeats the line.
I'm telling you, freaking serial killer Casey has got into everyone's head.
And then, you know, and Nora says, like, you know, and I make my own money. I can spend it as I wish. And then Derek, in defense of his dad, was like, and he doesn't. And then George again is like, Derek, and is like, and then he repeats Derek's line. And it's a weird thing to see, but it's like we're basically viewing Dasey in the future.
Pretty much. They're fighting through their parents, living through their parents right now in this moment.
Yeah. So Nora really shouldn't have bought anything that big without consulting George, let alone changing the whole, like, living room. She shouldn't have done that.
No.
It was his furniture that she was throwing away.
His gross ass couch.
Still, like, it was his stuff. It's not like, it was her TV and she was like, I don't need it anymore, so I'm going to throw it away. Like, it was his couch, his coffee table, his, like, she was moving everything that was his and, like, their families. And while they're a unit now, you still just can't do that.
It's true.
It goes back to the living room. Actually, Nora and George, they go away to have a private conversation. The kids are outside their room listening to them argue, which was weird in a way, but I guess they just want to know what's happening. But this makes Casey feel guilty because she sees that she kind of started it all.
Except that doesn't fit in with her serial killer tendencies, so she has to pretend to be super sad
pretend to be
it.
sympathetic and everything.
Exactly.
But anyway, so she's, becoming guilty, and she's in her room, and I just thought it was really random that she just has this picture of George and Nora in her hands, and she's, like, looking down at it all, like, sadly and everything. It's like, do you do that?
I don't do that, no. But let's be fair, this is the girl who, like, has to go write poetry. And she has a hard spot. So it's not surprising for her. Her character's super bizarre like that.
Then, so she goes down to the living room and she starts putting things back to where they're supposed to be. So she takes down the artwork she put up. And Derek is there suddenly, and he offers to help, which she declines, saying that it was his fault too. And Derek's like, you're the one who sold the couch and hid the TV. Like, so basically, it's your fault. It's your fault everything's happening. And she's like, I didn't know these things were so important to you men. Okay, Casey, you gotta stop being so general here, okay? I wouldn't want you touching my shit either, especially my TV.
See, I love how he says you hid the TV, and they literally said it's downstairs in the basement.
But still, like, would you really want to go a whole nother floor down just to watch TV?
Yes, because I ain't no bitch. In that
creepy-ass basement?
I ain't no bitch. I don't care. I'll just go there.
But still, like, it's annoying. It's an inconvenience, and, I don't know. I think it's better to have it in the living room. But that's how I've always had my house set up.
Well, yes. Just say it. Mine
so
was
anyway,
in the basement
too. She goes on to say, boys and girls are different, And Derek, I mean, this is like probably like the most iconic line that comes out of this whole episode. Mm-hmm. And Derek says, like, yeah, I found that out the fun way on the old couch. And then in my head, I'm just thinking, like, Derek, you're not really making a compelling argument to bring that couch back.
Yeah, you're not at all.
It's just like, not only like was a dead mouse in that couch, I don't even want to know what else could be embedded in that couch.
Yeah, we need to bring out the black light.
Oh God. You get the black light and it just all glows up.
God.
And then someone like Edwin's like, how do you know if something's there? It's like, there's something here.
Where isn't there something? Oh God.
So yeah, and then Derek agrees that they have to fix things. So the kids are able to sell the couch for even more money than they bought it. Casey, tells her mom, like, I shouldn't have pushed you into decorating. And then Derek says, Dad, Casey shouldn't have pushed Nora into decorating. And then I just like that she hits him after that.
Yeah. She's like, that's not the plan, bitch. Let me manipulate you.
And then it looks like they kept the girls' art in exchange for the living room to basically look the same. So
Mhm.
in a way, they kind of came to an agreement somewhere to add a little bit of what was theirs into the house. Um, which I mean, really should have just been what happened all along, but
Can I just say though, like, you know how they're like that piece of art is ugly that was over the fireplace?
hmm
It was actually very nice.
That wasn't too bad. No, I mean,
I thought it was very nice. It was chic.
I can't really remember what it looks like, but
It was like
I
very
didn't have any. I don't remember thinking there was any like thing wrong with it. So
it was like abstract. It was just like paint thrown
yeah,
everywhere and
yeah, but
everything. It was nice.
so with the questions that we got, we have one where it's like, what would Daisy wear for Halloween?
Probably one of those cringe-worthy couple costumes because I feel like Casey would force Derek into it.
Well, yeah. So as a couple, I feel like Casey would want to like do like an iconic couple
Mm-hmm.
or something. Like, could you like, how they do that? They dress up for that one episode for their like school project.
Yeah.
Like, I could see her wanting to be like Romeo and Juliet, or like some like Shakespearean, like some like really old school like literature couple, like maybe Darcy and Elizabeth.
Probably. Yeah, she'd be like, "Oh my god,
From Pride and
yes, there must
Prejudice.
be that book, Pride and Prejudice," and Derek would be like, "Fuck my life."
She's like, why am I dressed up in this?
Plot twist. Derek's
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
And then
she's
Derek, I
Darcy.
think like he would like Casey would be like, oh, let's do couple costumes, and Derek would like bring up the outlet and plug costume. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No. That's so bad.
Like, I could see him trying to get her to wear that. I don't know how successful he would get, but I feel like he would try to get that.
The reason why I know what that is, do you know the Try Guys?
I've heard of them.
Okay, well, they did a video recently, and it was like cringy couple costumes.
Yeah.
And one of the costumes was the outlet and the plug.
I've seen it for years now. My friend actually, her and her husband, they dressed up as that for Halloween.
And what made me laugh so hard is that the guy who was the outlet was like, "I am a consenting adult and I allow you to do this," and then the guy just like stabbed the outlet into the like plug into the outlet, and I was like, "No."
Now that's them together. What do you think they would be if they were just going like alone, like just them?
I feel like Casey would still be some really like
lame ass.
costume, yeah.
I feel like Derek. I feel like one way he would want to go elaborate.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would try to be like, like this is if I'm gonna be dressing up as something, like I'm gonna look cool.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's really lazy, so he'd be like a hockey player.
Probably.
Like, because he already has it. Or like he would be like the Fonz. Or like just because he has the leather jacket and everything, and like
God.
it's a half-ass like costume. So, but Casey, I don't know, like I feel like she would try to like get into it a little bit more, like she would have fun like trying to find like a costume for herself. Mm-hmm. Whereas Derek might be a little bit more lazy about it.
I'm just trying to think because
like Casey would make her costumes.
I see that happening. I see Derek might go as like something scary as well though. Like maybe he'd go as a killer clown. I would, if I saw him, I would like punch him in the face. Because fuck clowns.
I went to see Halloween yesterday.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't that scary.
I don't do well with scary things. People say it's not scary.
It really wasn't that scary. Listen. The worst thing about that movie was the deaths got a little gory.
See, I don't care about the goriness.
that was the only thing that was like that made me like kind of like because like some of the deaths like he was really like whew.
See, that doesn't bother me.
But it really wasn't that scary. Like I didn't feel like there was. I mean, there was a couple jump scares, but I don't even think I jumped at them.
See,
Like
I can watch Saw movies and not like care, but the second you bring in shit like It or anything considered,
it wasn't that
I
scary
can't
either.
handle it. I just can't. I can't do scary.
I don't get scared that easily.
I do. Like I went to my friend.
For scary movies, I do not get scared.
I went to my friend's house once. We went to a haunted house. It was Halloween, and we did a haunted house, and that was fine. I get scared and stuff, and I'm that person that's like behind everyone and like holding on to them and letting them go first. So we did that. Then we went back to his house, and he's like, "Let's watch a scary movie." And I'm like, "Yeah, no thanks. I don't do scary." So I sat in the kitchen on the floor in the dark by myself while everyone
Oh my God.
watched scary movies for like 2 hours. I was just there with a bottle of beer on my phone. It was bad. I don't do them well. No one understands. It's a fear.
And then I think maybe 2 days ago we got this other question, and the question is, what do you think it would have taken for the writers of Life with Derek to make sure Derek and Casey weren't shipped? Or at least not to the degree they were and still are today. I think it's not so much the writers.
It's the chemistry between the actors. You would have to switch actors.
It's Derek. It's Michael and Casey.
Michael
oh my
and
God.
Casey. It is Michael.
Michael and Ashley. Okay, especially they gotta stop with the smirks. They have to stop with like all like because like whether they were intending it or not, like maybe they're just like really like flirtatious people in itself, and that's what it comes across. But like that needed to not happen.
It didn't help that they constantly like posted videos,
and like they are the main characters of the show, so they were together a lot. And I think like. I mean, I think that was really against the show for them to like that was really the premise of the show, that they're always at ends. But like really, if they wanted to completely get rid of it, I think actually just making them work together all the time and not fight may have helped it, because people just kind of get drawn to the love-hate thing. Especially like when you see that they really do care about each other. It's just like it's kind of like an act or something, which is definitely what Dasey was. But I just think, like, especially for me, because like people ship Lizzie and Edwin.
They do.
But I was never like, I don't care, but like I was never one of those people who just like kind of like ship them, mainly because they just seemed like really good friends. They seem like, two people who, adapted to the new step sibling thing, and they were making it work. So I think if they had if Casey and Derek had a similar relationship as them, it may have not gotten as much traction.
I just like how in any story you see Derek and Casey together, and they're like, the family's like, okay, cool, we can deal with that. And then it's like Lizzie and Edwin, and then they're like, fuck. Again, not this again.
In a way, it's funny because they're like, all right, just like two of our kids, okay. And then like it's another two of their kids, and like, shit.
They're like, they're outnumbered now.
But in a way, it's like, I don't want to kill Nora and George.
Yeah.
Like, give them a break. They have Casey and Derek.
It's true.
It's like, all right. But yeah, I mean, if you ship Lizzie and Edwin, I have nothing against that. It's just I personally never saw like them as shippable for me.
What was scary is I was looking through fics once, and I came across, and I was like, who in their right mind? It was Derek and Lizzie.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them actually.
I've seen only one, and I was like, no!
Yeah, I mean, maybe because they both like sports.
I think that's what the story was about.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the only thing I could see them really like bonding over.
Didn't like hockey though. She was like, I want to stop.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't see it. Power to you if you do. I don't, but. All right, so I think that's the end of this episode.
I sleep.
Let me see. The next episode we will be watching.
Pray it be better than fucking Puppy Dog Tales and the.
I know that Puppy Dog Tales. Blah
I will
blah
find
blah
it.
blah 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 blah. Ed Rich, who wrote that wasn't a good episode, and I don't think he wrote for anything else. Oh wait, he did write it. He wrote Battle in the Band.
God.
What the hell happened between that episode and this one?
0 to 100 real fast is what happened. The next episode.
He only wrote 2 episodes, and that was
There's
that.
no in between. It's 0, 100. That's it.
Exactly.
So,
all right.
Sweet Misery is the next episode.
Sweet Misery is the next
Yes.
episode? All right.
So
Okay.
questions.
I think I do like that episode. Like it's a little bit better than this one. I think this is probably like one of the worst episodes, especially of the first season.
Mm-hmm.
It's just boring. So
Send us questions.
all right. Yeah, so again, if you have any questions, leave a comment on our YouTube channel. Send a message on our Tumblr, daisy.tumblr.com. We also have a Twitter, twitter.com/oopsydaisypod.
We still need to find the courage to message Ashley, but it will get there soon. Who knows?
And then we're also on Anchor and Spotify
and
iTunes.
Yeah, iTunes is picking up. Like, people are finding it there, and they're like, getting lit. I haven't checked in a while. Let me just,
it's getting lit.
let me just refresh this real quick, all right? Let's see, we got here. Let's go. It's been a while. All right. Yeah, it's gone up. It's gone up. Yeah. It's good. We have 150 all-time plays. I like it. Averaging 18.
Wow. And we don't even really All right. So yeah, just so you know, if one medium is not good for you, we have plenty of others for you to listen to
or watch if you're on YouTube.
Yeah. So, okay. This is all for today. Bye-bye.
My bum doesn't hurt, but my foot's asleep.